Heather, I'll watch the chat for you tonight,
Okay.
okay?
Oh, thank you so much. It's hard to multitask, isn't it?
I know.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to week one, the very first session of our Recipe for Success. Woo! Everybody give yourselves a hand. We made it. I wanted to welcome you, and my name is Heather Gravely. I'm an advanced director on Tina Merle's team. And I've been with Pampered Chef I just had my 2-year anniversary last week. And let's see, I promoted to director after 8 months. Yes, I signed up at the very end of September. And I promoted in May. And it's just been a really fun thing. This business has changed my life. And I think my favorite part, besides being able to give lots of awesome free stuff to my hosts, is being able to change other people's lives and give them the confidence that this business has given me. So that's kind of my why right now. Let's see, we have a lot of directors on here tonight. Tina, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and say hi.
Hey everyone, I'm Tina Merle. I am a senior director and I've been with Pampered Chef for 22 years. Crazy, but still excited and still love it. I love it more and more.
Yes, Sheila, will you?
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Sheila Addis, and I'm a senior director, and I have been with Pampered Chef 27 and a half years. And I always like to say on these calls, my favorite thing is working with consultants, especially new consultants. So whether you're new or seasoned, you're at the right place at the right time.
That is so true. This is such a great group of sessions. It's just such a great training. You know, when you can have people who've been doing this business for 20 plus years come onto these sessions and still learn something new, you know that it's just a really great group of workshops to be involved with. So we also have Mona. Can you unmute yourself?
Hey y'all, I'm Mona Wood. I am a director and live in Daytona Beach, Florida. And I've been with the company for 6 years, a little over 6 years.
And you promoted?
I promoted in April.
Yes, yay. Congratulations, it's so fun.
It took me forever to do it, but I did it.
She's a COVID director.
Yeah.
That's right. We love that. We love that. A lot of good did come out of that time, we'll say.
Could you direct COVID right on out the door then?
And I know, right? I'm with you, Jenna.
Yes. Miriam, we're coming over to you next.
Hey everybody, Miriam Tedeschi in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been with Pampered Chef for 13 years. I just celebrated 13 a couple weeks ago. And I promoted to director a couple years after I joined. And actually, I just promoted to advanced director. Yay. And you'll hear about that in just a minute too, but yay!
Yay. Hooray! And I'm going to come to her in a second. Do we have, besides Jenna, do we have any other directors on here?
Joyce Gates. Joyce Gates is on.
Okay. Oh, there you are. Hi. I knew I was going to forget. So I was trying to like search all the names really fast and make sure I didn't miss anybody. Joyce, you are next.
Hi, I'm Joyce Gates. I'm out here in Torrance, California. I've been with Pampered Chef for 23 years now. And I'm like Sheila. I love helping people get started in the business. It's exciting, really exciting.
Awesome. Yay. And last but certainly not least, our newest, drum roll please, newest director, Jenna Rohr. Come tell us a little bit about yourself. And I have asked Jenna also to just share a little bit about her journey and how she got here, because it's just, we've been rooting for her and I'm just so excited that she gets to join the director team. So take it away.
Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Jenna and I live here in Nashville, Tennessee. And I promoted last night at, I believe it was 11:25 p.m.
You know the second. Yay.
Pretty much. Miriam and I were on the phone. It was pretty fun. But yeah, I've been working towards this. I signed up 3.5 years ago in 2017 and I sold years ago. I mean, years ago, back in the carbon copy, mail it in time period. But I got out of it and I got back in. And so since then, when I first started, it was more of a hobby and just trying to make a little bit of extra money, and but wanted to stay home due to some just situations. But I didn't really want to get out. And so this was the perfect option for me. Miriam did my last party on, I think it was November 9th of 2016. She did my last party as me being a host. And when she started talking about the virtual parties, it really was huge for me and kind of eye-opening. And so that's what spurred me to sign up. And then, you know, as the last 3 years have progressed, and as I've really kind of embraced the business more and really invested my time more and invested just just figured out what I wanted. I set my goals and I decided this is what I want. I just started working towards it, and Miriam worked with me, and Tina and Heather, and there's been a village to take care of me and get me here. But yeah, it's just been a lot of hard work and really setting my goals and being determined and making an effort. And when I get down below that line and things are a little bit discouraging and realizing we have some bad months or whatnot, just not allowing ourselves to stay there and picking myself back up. And that's kind of how I am here today. And my actual journey last night, I mean, I was not expecting to promote last night. We've been trying for the last several months and it just hasn't worked out. And then yesterday I had a party. What's that?
There's no way it'll fit in the room? The one cooler you're saying, right?
Raquel, you need to mute.
I muted her.
I'm like, what? But, so like last night I wasn't even thinking about it. And then all of a sudden I had a party that went from like not a whole lot to a good amount. And then the party was closed and orders just started coming in. And I realized this can happen. And it happened. So the actual journey last night was amazing, but the process to get there was just a lot of hard work and being diligent and working my business and being just intentional in what I did and talking to everybody and just doing what it takes and not just putting it over here on a shelf and saying, oh, I'll get to this later or I'll work this later. It's like you have to every day. I had to make a decision to work my business. And I decided that it was important to me and that I wanted to make money doing my business. And so that's what it was. So I'm not so eloquent in speaking, so I'm sorry, but I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
I love it. I'm going to make this, this portion of this call required listening for my whole team, because you were saying so many things. And I'm like, oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. And I just, one thing you said was that you talked to everybody. I mean, and we talked about that, you and I, about how you're just known for doing that. If you go out to lunch with some coworkers, somebody's getting a mini catalog. Somebody at that restaurant, I mean, some random person is getting a mini catalog and you're getting their information back. And so that's so important. And also, when you talked about how you can get discouraged and, with losing your job when you did, you could have and times when you get a lot of no's, you can either, you can get discouraged, but it's finding those people when you're discouraged, finding those people to encourage you when you're feeling discouraged and reaching out to people and letting them reach out to you. And just another thing you said was making that decision, saying it's important to me. This is important to me. And so I'm going to do this. I just love that. It's such a great story. And, it's so important that we learn from other people that are working their business, that are facing different circumstances and rising above it, because that's going to come into play for all of us. It's not going to be easy sailing for every single one of us. We're all going to run into to roadblocks or discouragements and things like that. And it's really important to know what to do when you hit those. Listen to people who have gone before you and made it. Call on those people. We're all here for every one of you. you can reach out to Jenna if, you know, if something is hitting a chord with you and you're facing that situation, you know, reach out to Jenna. Or if you hear Tina say something, you know, reach out to her. We're all here to just encourage everybody. And with that, you know, we have to take our small victories too. And I know, and they're not all, every victory is a large victory to the person who has that victory, right? Every little miracle you get is a big miracle to the person receiving it. So speaking of what you've all been through this past week, I know that we were doing a booking blitz, or it's still going on. And if you have been involved with that booking blitz, I'd love to know it in the chat. So if you could just kind of shout it out if you've been doing your booking blitz. And I would love for somebody to unmute and let us know what, you know, some successes that you had during this booking blitz. Did anybody get some bookings from it?
Yeah, I got a couple bookings so far, and waiting to hear back from a couple. So, I mean, I just kind of went through and used some of the wording that was in one of the posts, and just kind of went to town, and I got 2 bookings pretty quick. And then I've gotten several no's and several no responses. And the no's are never fun. So, you know, I have a hard time sometimes. I have to make sure I don't take it personal, because parties are not for everybody. But that's okay. I tell them they can buy something from me instead.
That's right. That's right. And when that fails too, you can say, you know what, I'd love to keep in touch with you. I've got this VIP group. I love sharing recipes. They don't have to buy something from you right now. There might be a time that they see something that they need, and then you can say, well, you can get it for free. So yeah, and a lot of times we see the same wording being shared. You know, those booking blitzes are so great for having, you know, just reinforcing some of the wording that people are using and they're having luck with. But it's also so great because it puts new ideas in front of us that we may not have thought of. I mean, did anybody come up with or see a new idea that was posted in the booking blitz that they were like, wow, that's really cool, and maybe even they put it into effect or not? But did anybody see something that they thought was kind of a cool idea that was shared in the booking blitz that you were like, wow?
I love the wording for the parties and for the getting the bookings and the parties. And I had 2 parties going on, and I reached out to every single person on the parties, and I got 2 bookings off of 1 party.
Great.
But I love that wording.
Good, good. Anyone else want to share? You know, I do want to, I think it's really, one thing that's really neat about our business is anytime that we run into challenges, let's say the shipping challenges, or even though direct ship is awesome, there will be some challenges with it, but it gives us opportunity to reach out to our customers in a different way, to just kind of like reach out and do some customer care and things like that we wouldn't have been able to do without those challenges. So without COVID, we wouldn't have been able to reach out to our customers with those issues, with the shipping issues, and show them that we care. So, you know, every challenge does have some fun and unique opportunities that come with it. So as we're getting into our recipe for success, I wanted to talk a little bit about the requirements for this program and what's going to be expected of you during these next 4 weeks. First of all, we want to talk about what do you need to promote to director, okay? In the month you promote, you will need 5 active consultants on your team in addition to yourself. So to be considered active, a consultant needs to submit $150 in sales. So go green. They have to be green in that month. So $150, you need 5 on your team at one time. The cool thing is that those 5 don't all have to be people that you recruited personally. They can be people that your recruits recruited. So those are considered on your team. So you need all of that to happen, that magic month that Jenna just had, that magic month where you get 5, it's all active at one time. You'll need to meet the requirements for your personal sales and team sales. So your personal sales need to be $750, okay, in order to promote. and your team sales need to be $5,000. Okay, and that's a combined. That's including your own sales. Keep in mind that your team sales do include your personal sales. These are the minimum requirements to promote to director. At Pampered Chef, we do share those minimums with you at every level of the career plan, but this is important, it's a big but. That does not mean you want to work to that minimum. You don't want to say, oh, I've got my 750, I'm good, I can promote. Oh, I've got those 5, they're each submitting $150, we're good. Because you want to have a very strong personal business. You don't want to work to those minimums. You want to max it out. You want to be a great example, a shining example for the people that are joining your team. And when you do that, you'll be setting the pace for your team, and you'll find that everyone on your team will have more success when you set that pace. So you don't want to go for that 750. Why not try to do that 5,000 yourself that month? And every month going forward, that way it's a done deal. You don't have to worry about that $5,000 requirement. Let's see. Now going forward, after you meet that, all 5 team members do not have to be active in the same month. So it's just that month that you are trying to promote. That's when you need to have 5 people active on your team all at the same time. Anybody have any questions about that? Okay.
Heather, do you want to, real quickly, do you want to share a great quick idea on how they would do 5,000 personally themselves a month?
An idea on how?
I love how it never used to be set up that way, where one person could turn in the 5,000 and you've got it. So that might seem like a big number to some people. What would you suggest the best way to turn in 5,000 would be? Oh,
that's easy. So I always say, first of all, now granted the average party is about 650, but I bump it down to 500 because mathing is way easier when you bump it down to 500. So for my own, little tired brain, we're going to say $500 is the average show because it's easier. And so if $5,000, how many shows do you need? Even I can do that math, right? You need 10 shows, right? And so if you want to do that $5,000 yourself, you have to have 10 shows, but don't stop there, okay? We want to make sure that if any of those parties drop off, you're still covered. And also, not only if they drop off, but what if you recruit? Because we're all about recruiting, right? We're going for director. So you want to make sure that you have a couple extra parties booked in, so that if one of your hosts decides to flip into becoming a consultant themselves, and you're going to give her that party as her launch party or her grand opening, you're still not losing out. You're not worried, oh, I'm not going to make my numbers, I'm not going to become director this month, so I don't want to ask her about the business. We don't even want to have to worry about that. So add a couple of extras in there. Go for 12. So what is that? That's 3 parties a week. Or if you want to work 3 weeks and take a week off, you need 4 parties a week. However you want to do it, you can work 2 weeks out of the entire month and do 6 parties at one time, and boom, you're done. So it's really fantastic to be able to work backwards from there and know what your goal is. Write it down. Don't just have it in your head. Write it down. Put it next to your computer. Put it wherever you do your work. Make it the wallpaper of your phone. Put it somewhere where you'll see it all the time and say, this is what I'm going for. This is what it's going to take to get me to become a director. And then if you fall a little bit short, have another party yourself. You can have a party yourself and invite all of your hosts in, do some fun giveaways, some games. It's up to you to get as creative as you want to be. And if you're still short, call your director and say, I need some ideas. What can I do? And that's why we're here to help you. Okay. Anybody else have any ideas or any comments about that? I love that we kind of control our own destiny with this, and it's so empowering, but it's also, there's just just such a great feeling you get knowing, okay, this is what I have to do and this is what it takes to get there. So I love that. I had 1 month where I was trying to get, it was actually over a 2-month period, and I knew the amount of sales I needed to get to reach excellence awards for personal sales. And I said, okay, in 2 months, I need to hit I think it was $9,500 in sales. And I said, that's going to take this many parties. So that's about 4,000, like let's say 5,000, just to make it easy, 5,000 a month in sales. Okay. With average, that's about 10 parties. I'm going to book 12 to make sure that I hit it. And I believe I was almost there in the first month. Okay, because my party average was actually a little higher, whatever. I actually had more parties booked than I had anticipated, because it was a good month. But you can work backwards from whatever your goal is, whether it's income, whether it's sales, because you're trying to meet a goal, whether it's recruits. You can work backwards and really, set your own goals. So we do want to talk about, this program is about becoming a director, but why? Why do you want to become a director? Why was Jenna just trying to become director and finally was so excited to get there? What are the benefits of it? There are two ways. I want to break it down into new consultants, the benefits for new consultants, and the benefits for everybody. Okay, because there are benefits for everybody. For new consultants, I do want to share my screen for a moment, and hopefully it'll work because I should have it pulled up. Okay, let's minimize this. Okay, can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so this is the, let me hide this, okay. This is the Fast Track Rewards program. And I know that you have probably heard a lot about the Fast Track Rewards as far as the products go, the products you can earn when you make sales, but we're gonna talk about reaching director. And holy smokes, look at that. When you promote to a director in your first 90 days, so you have 90 days to do this, you can get a $500 bonus, just like that. And then when you're paid as a director, so when you meet those requirements, which is $5,000 in team sales and $750 in personal sales, your own self, $750. So as you're trying to maintain that directorship for the next 3 months, those are the requirements. Once you do that, you get another $500. Isn't that cool? And then if you talk to, if one of your recruits wants to fast track during their first 90 days and they become a director, look at that. You could get another 1,000 if you have one director promote, which would push you up to advanced director. And that you can do within your first 6 months. Isn't that cool? And then when that director gets paid when you're an advanced director for 3 months, you get another 1,000. So you are just, if you are just joining and within your first 90 days, there's $3,000 cash just like sitting on the table. And Sharon Zellen shared this in a talk she gave where that money at the end of 90 days, or, really you have to promote to director within that 90 days. So that money is sitting there on that table. And at the end of 90 days, you know what? That money is just going to either go to you or it's going to be deposited back into Warren Buffett's account. So who needs it more, you or Warren Buffett? And I just love that. I just think that's such a good visual. Not only that, let me see if it says this here. Yeah. So not only are those cash rewards on the table, but every single time in your first 90 days that a consultant joins your team and qualifies, and when we say qualify, that means reaching $1,250 in sales. So every time a new consultant joins your team and reaches $1,250 in sales within their first 90 days, you get $100. So if you are promoting to director, chances are most of those 5 are going to come straight from you, and that $100 could actually turn into $500 additional. Isn't that neat? Does anybody have any questions about that part of it? I know that that's a lot of information thrown at you, but how many jobs do you join and within the first 90 days, they're like, hey, here's a $500 bonus just for doing your job. It doesn't happen very often. And like I said, we do control our own destiny. So if you make the decision that you want to fast track, then you can go for it and you can get these rewards. Another thing to think about is, as a seasoned consultant, so I'm going to scroll back up here. As a seasoned consultant or experienced consultant, if you have somebody on your team fast track, you are going to get those rewards too. So if you promote to a director as a new consultant, you get the $500 and your recruiter will get that $500. So as you keep going along, and it remains that way for all of these little cash bonuses, all these cash bonuses, your recruiter is going to get those also. So if you are an experienced consultant, there is still a reason to be recruiting and building your team and getting them to promote, because look at these cash rewards that could come to that person and change their life, and to you also, and make a big difference in your life too. Does anybody have any questions about that before I get into the benefits of being a director? Okay, I'm gonna scroll. I think it's here. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's a little bit small. I don't know if I can. I think I can do this. Well, I thought I could. It's a little bit bigger. Okay, that's better. All right, so if you notice for the director, once you promote to a director, there are some really amazing rewards and benefits for being a director. Every month that you meet the personal sales, which is $750, personal sales and personal team sale requirements, and that team sale, remember, is the 5,000, so it says it right here. 750 personal sales, 5,000 team sales. Every month that you do that, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get 3% override on personal team sales, 3% override on your first generation. So everybody that is basically everybody that's on your team, you're going to get a 3% override. That means 3% of your entire team sales is going to come to you in cash. And that's a big deal. You get 50 Pampered Chef dollars for every personal recruit, and every single person who is active on your team turning in $150 or more, you're going to get $10 activity bonus. So that, you know, it seems like, oh, $10, it's not that much. Well, if you're building a team, and let's say one month you have 5 people active on your team, because that's what we're going for, promoting to director. You have 5 people active on your team, that's $50. But if you keep building a team and you reach 10 people and all 10 people are active on your team, then that's $100. And as you keep building your team and trying to encourage them to become active every single month with their $150, every single month you're building and building, and that activity bonus grows and grows. So Tina, do you mind sharing? I'm going to hop out of here if I can. Tina, do you mind sharing how many active consultants you have on your personal team? And I think first generation would be included. So for a director, it would be personal team and first generation. So
I don't know that number.
Yeah, see, there's a lot.
I know how many were active.
How many were active?
I had 17 active for September on my personal team. So I got $170 just for my active.
Just for your active team.
And I do know
my
that. I know that answer for Tina.
Oh, can you share?
Oh, you do?
Yeah. You know me,
Share,
Miss
Sheila.
Eagle Eye. And here's how I know it. Tina and I both have 51 personal people on our team. So it's our personal team. And I always watch Tina's numbers. Like, look at her passing me. What the? And so she's got 51. I have 51. She had 17 of those were active, and I had 15 of those were active. So I got 150 bonus. Of course, Tina beat me with 170. But it's really cool when you see that number. You just know, put a 0 on the end of it, and that's what they put on your paycheck. So Tina, you have 51 personal team members.
That is
I know
so
my
cool.
organization is about 100, but I couldn't remember what my personal team was.
Right. You know what? I can't keep track of it either, which is kind of fun. When somebody says, oh, how many people are on your team? I'm like, I have no idea.
You just tell them I have a lot. I have a
I have a
lot.
lot. I think, well, at one time I counted them and I think I was at about 25, but I think that's gone up to about 30. And then with Stephanie's team, she's got like 12 people on her team now. So it just it's fun to watch those things grow. It's really exciting. And I think when I became director, when I started recruiting, is when I really started like kicking it into high gear, because what I always say is like, you feel a responsibility to people. You know, if they're on your team, you feel a personal responsibility to do this the right way, to be a good example, to show them what can be done. And you really wind up having a stronger business because of it. So that is, you know, we just went over all of the benefits of being a director, but that is sort of an unwritten benefit of being a director, because you do feel more connected to your business and more of a responsibility. A couple of fun little things that you get for being a director to commemorate your promotion. You'll also get a sterling silver necklace with a happy spoon. Does anybody have theirs on? No, oh, it's so cute. I love it. And it has a little red gem in there, a little red jewel in it.
And for men, because we have Ellen on here.
Yes, that's right. Well, so what is it for men? It was a bracelet?
Keychain. I think it's a keychain.
A keychain, okay.
Mhm.
So they make sure they take care of their men, Alan. They really do. You'll also receive.
Sounds like that'd get a little.
That's right. Hey, you know, wrap it around your wrist, and you know. You'll also, oh my gosh, a fun thing is that you're going to get extra incentive trip points. And for those of you who don't know, anytime you recruit someone and they qualify with that $12.50 in sales, you're getting extra trip points for that too. But holy cow, when you promote to a director, you get 2,000 trip points. So, right, 2,000 for the first month, or is it 3 or 6? It's a lot. It's a lot.
2, 3, or 6.
I feel like it's 5,000 or 6,000. It's a lot.
It's
I think it's 2,000 first, and then every month you maintain it, you get another 2,000 or something.
That's where I was going with it. I wasn't sure if I know as an advanced director, that's how it works a little bit, but you get trip points. So that's really exciting. You'll also get, you ready for this? 250 PC dollars when you promote to director. Woohoo! Oh, and something they didn't write on here is you also get, I believe it's $100 for training of your choosing. So you go and find a training that you like, and you pay for it, and you can have that. You can submit that to be reimbursed. They will give you
a cooking class or
a cooking class. Oh, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
I'm going to do a time organization class. I think that's what I'm going to use it for, because I need that. But you can do that. There are all these little perks that come with it. But one of the coolest things, and I know when Stephanie promoted, this was like one of her favorite things. You get access to special trainings that are for directors and above only. And that's a really, big deal. I remember when I had promoted and Stephanie was not promoted to a director yet. And I would tell her, oh, there's this happening, there's this happening. She's like, did you hear that on one of your super secret calls? I'm like, don't you want to be part of that? Don't you? And she's like, yep, it made her crazy. So now she gets to be in on those too.
Super secret calls. I like it.
Super secret calls. And you also get a higher discount on your personal product orders. You get, is it 40%? 40% off?
30%
off on your personal orders instead of consultants get 20. So that's kind of cool too. Anything you order is 30% off. Okay, so moving on, we're going to start moving on.
Heather.
Yes.
Heather, one more thing. Those boxes that show up to your
Oh
doorstep.
my gosh, how could I forget the boxes? So when I first promoted, I was out at breakfast. My sister was visiting, and we went to Cracker Barrel for like lunch or something. And I came home, and I have this little landing and a storm door that opens out onto the landing. And in front of the storm door on this landing were 2 gigantic boxes completely full of Pampered Chef products for free. They just showed up at my door. and it was like Christmas, but it was in the middle of the year, and I was saying, oh my gosh, they were so heavy, they were so big, and they just came out of nowhere. And I said, thank goodness we were at breakfast, because I would not have been able to get out my front door to get these boxes. I would have had to go out the back door, come around, because they were such giant boxes. You get every new product when you promote, every new product from that season. That's cool. And then as long as you keep your title and you're paid at your title, I think the few months before, you get those boxes again the next time we get all of the new catalog comes out. You get them all. So how cool is that? And then if you earn them in the free-for-all, guess how many of each product you get? 2. So you can give some away. You can keep 2 if you want. You can keep 1 for your cooking shows, keep 1 in your kitchen. You can gift them because Christmas is coming up. And the cool thing is if you promote to a director in the fall season, you're just going to get all those products that just came out. How cool is that? Especially for you new consultants. Very cool. Thank you, Tina. I can't believe I forgot that one. That's like my favorite part of the year. So a little bit about what we're going to expect from you as part of this program. Now, this isn't, for everybody. This is going to be for those who want to grow. You want to grow your business through this program. And so here are what you can expect from Director Bound. So this is what the expectations that you can have of this program. We're going to do weekly sessions for the next 4 weeks that strengthen your skills, and you can learn from other participants. We're going to do a weekly check-in call with your director or your recruiter to celebrate your wins and discuss solutions to anything that may be getting in the way of your success. We will be giving you the opportunity to network with other participants in this small group setting, and you'll learn the skills and habits that will help you strengthen your personal business. So if you can't tell, a strong personal business is the key to success to growing your business. Okay, we always say recruit, recruit, recruit. Well, if you don't have a strong personal business, you're not getting yourself out in front of a lot of people to try to talk to people about the business. If you don't have a strong personal business and you promote to a director, it'll be a constant struggle to keep that director title. We want you to get it and we want you to keep it, okay? So we're going to take a little time as we go through this program where we will have a small part of each session called a mindset moment. Your mind is powerful and the way you think impacts your results. The first mindset we're going to talk about is stretching yourself. As you start on this journey, you'll enjoy many successes, and of course, not everything will go as planned, and that's normal. So has everything gone as planned for every director on here? No way. COVID, enough said. So we are going to ask you to stretch yourself and believe in the system. So I would like to take a moment and ask you guys to just get a little active with me a little bit, okay? If you're in your PJs, that's all right. We don't mind. I'm going to ask you to stretch as high as you can, okay? Everybody needs to stretch. There you go, London. Thank you. Stretch up high. Miriam, I know you're doing it even though we can't see you. Okay. Now let's stretch higher. Stretch as high as you can. Stretch higher. Okay. Is that really as high as you can go? Stretch higher. Come on, stretch higher. Higher than you just did. All right. Put your arms down. Thank you. Weren't you all amazed to learn that even though you thought that first time you had stretched as high as you could, the first and the second times, when I asked you to stretch one more time even higher, you reached higher. And that's what you'll find in this program. We're going to ask you to stretch and then stretch some more and then maybe stretch some more, even farther than you ever thought possible. During this program, you will be often encouraged to stretch yourself. For example, we'll ask you to be accountable for completing action steps every week to help you move forward toward your goal. We'll also ask you to try some new activities and complete some tasks that may stretch you beyond your comfort zone. That happens. Rest assured that these activities will not only help you get to the director level, they'll also help you maintain a strong director team with continued growth. And as your leaders in this process, we will never ask you to do anything that we are not already doing ourselves. This system works. Can anybody, any of the directors on here, share an example of somewhere that you had to stretch yourself beyond your comfort zone? Maybe just like a really short example of what that might look like. I know I can share, when I started this business, I didn't want to talk to anybody about recruiting. I didn't want to be, I told London today, I was like, I didn't want to be that girl. And my husband told me, he's like, you don't want to be that girl that people see coming and they run the other way. And I had that in my mind. And so I didn't want to ask anybody about recruiting. And finally I said, all right, I'm just going to do it. I was seeing all these people posting saying, oh, welcome this person, welcome this person. I'm like, all right, I've just got to do it. So that was where I had to, and I had to step out of my comfort zone every time I talked to somebody because I didn't feel comfortable. And then the more I did it, the easier that got. So does anybody else want to share? We'll take maybe one more story.
I don't mind to share. You know, I was primarily a cooking show consultant and really did not like virtual parties before COVID, but I didn't have a choice. I had to convert, and it was hard at first. But now I'm so happy that I did. I'm actually very thankful. Of course, I'm not thankful for COVID and all of that, what that has brought, but I'm thankful for that. It forced me to do something that I wouldn't have done. So, because I had to maintain my business, I had to work. So it's been a huge blessing.
It's so true. And oh my gosh, when, last spring, when I was working with Tina and she's like, I don't want to do a virtual party. You can take her. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do this virtual party. And then we switched to totally virtual parties. And I will never forget. I mean, it wasn't even very far in. It was like 3 weeks or 4 weeks into this situation. And I was talking to Tina and she goes, I don't want to go back to cooking parties. I love virtual parties. I'm not going to go back to these cooking parties. They're too much work. So I just thought that was so funny. It was such a shift. And if she had not, you had actually started pushing yourself in that direction before COVID hit. And if she had not started working on herself and working on that, she would have been, much more thrown than she was when COVID hit and she had to switch to all online. So it was a really good thing that she started stepping out of that comfort zone first voluntarily.
And I was the same way. Tina and I were on the same page. We just weren't the virtual queens and we were the live shows, but I found myself onto my team saying who needed a refresher in virtuals, so that I could help open up that door for them too. But I was wondering if I could get Jamie Brandt, if you wouldn't mind sharing, because she was in my mystery host party that I did. Jamie Brandt was on my team 15 years ago. She was an advanced director, and she actually recruited Rose, who recruited Tina. And so it's amazing how this goes around. And so I was going to ask Jamie if she would share, what was it from my mystery host party that just sparked you to come back to Pampered Chef? I think she shared a little bit, it was virtual, but I'd love to hear.
Well, to the first person tonight who said that it doesn't feel good when you get those no's or the crickets, Sheila, I was trying to find, it wasn't text message. You must have messengered it to me. Hey, would you like to have a party for me? And I totally turned her down. You asked me this like a month or two ago.
Yep.
No, I keep getting invites from everybody, and shipping's taking a long time or whatever. I was a big no, and a polite no. But so then I have 3 daughters getting married in the last 19 months, and I've been buying a lot of Pampered Chef because they grew up with Pampered Chef. So I need Pampered Chef. Their kitchens need to be great. So I've been buying it. It's been really fun. And so I played the games really hard in the final quarter when Sheila hosted this mystery show. I'm like, I want to win this. And I just assumed she was going to divvy up the prizes, old school. And I was shocked that I got everything. So I texted all my girls, what do you guys need? I need to know by tonight. And then I was like reading things, but what triggered it for me is watching the interaction on Sheila's show. People were asking, tell me more. Do you have to do 4 shows? What if you can't do after 4 shows? I'll have a party. I just saw a lot of engagement because I had never done part of all these. We're all getting invitations, right? To everything out there under the sun right now. I joined, I'd be polite, but I've never played. And I played Sheila's and I saw the fun and I went, I could save a lot of money on that kit. We all know when you get started with Pampered Chef, it is not, I don't know why people wait so long to make it's not a big decision. $49, you're gonna get some great tools. So I thought, why not? And here I am.
And here she is in the virtual world.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome. And, let that be a lesson that it can just take that one moment, that one party that, to have somebody come on board that's been saying no for a long time. So that's just such an encouraging thing. And especially with the special that we have this month. So amazing. This is the month. I mean, I was reaching out to London. I was reaching out to everybody saying, oh my gosh, this is the best. This is going to be a great month. We're going to kill it this month. We're going to go for so many recruits, because if they did have a party and they took their $50 kit credit and they get $40 off, they can join for $9. I joined for $4 because I won all of the post benefits at one of Tina's events. And so I used a $25 kit credit and signed up for $4, but I didn't get anything except paperwork. So you get a whole kit for $9. That extra $5, oh my gosh, you get a whole kit for it. So I'm going to move pretty quickly through the rest of our items because we're running short on time, and I just realized I thought that I was one page farther in than I thought I was. So, but we're just having, this first one, it is really important to set you guys up and let you know that we've all been there, and to let you know that we have experience, that we can help you grow your business. So we want to talk about bookings. Your business starts with bookings. Your party schedule is the foundation on which your whole business stands. So the very first thing we want to focus on is booking a full calendar for the next 2 weeks and what that looks like. Successful leaders hold this says 2 in person, which we're not doing so many of now, or 4 virtual parties each week. Okay, so successful businesses, successful leaders hold 4 virtual parties every week, because it's all in the numbers. So here's the formula for success. We want you to reach out to 30 contacts a day. That sounds like a lot. You want 30 contacts a day. That is what it takes. If you reach out to 30 people, it can be every guest in a party that, toward that 30. It can be people you run into on the street. It can be talking to somebody in the grocery store or in the bank, or talking to your hairdresser and saying, hey, did you know I started selling Pampered Chef? How cool is that? Talking to somebody in the grocery store saying, oh, what are you making tonight? Well, this is what I'm making. By the way, here's a mini catalog or here's a little recipe. Reach out through private messages, texts, calls, etc. Remember friends and family and networking while you're out and about. When you are reaching out to these people, we want to talk about the difference between desperation language and determination language. Think about the language that you're using when you're asking for those bookings. Are you coming across as desperate or determined? So what does the difference look like? Desperation language is pushy, salesy, and scared. Desperation language lacks confidence and trust, and it focuses on you and not them. It will not help you get bookings, and it uses phrases like, oh, if you could help me out, oh, I need help, I'm trying to reach my goal, I just need, right? London, did we talk about that today? Did I mention that to you? I can't remember if it was you or somebody else, where we were talking about the sales challenge. It was not you? Okay. I was talking about the sales challenge that I gave you. And I said, okay, there's a difference between, one of my hosts that's wrapping up her party said that she was trying to get some more orders and she had posted on her wall. And I said, well, here's some wording you can use. And I sent her that host challenge to, I've been challenged to sell 5 brownie pans, and I'll get a prize. And, it's the best pan. You'll get a free, e-cookbook when you buy a brownie pan. It's only $25. You can make sweet stuff. I gave her all the wording to use. And she said, wow, that's way better than begging for for sales. And I said, well, I used it. I was like, well, that's the difference. That's what we call the difference between desperation language and determination language. I used it with her. Determination language is confident, sincerely curious, and flexible, demonstrates genuine excitement for your work and the products we sell. It is the authentic desire to share it with the world, and it uses phrases like, I thought of you because, I'd love to help you, whether it's help you get or help you do, and wouldn't it be fun to do a party? Determination language is all about your potential host. How can it serve them? How can you serve them? How can you solve their problems in the kitchen? And how can you add a little more fun to their day? And how can you add a little more fun to their friends' days right now when we're all so isolated from each other? So there is a big difference there. And like in that example that I gave with the brownie pans, there's a big difference between saying, please, I just need $25 more to get to the next level, and saying, oh my gosh, you guys, this is my favorite product. You are gonna love this product. I've been challenged to sell some, or I just need, one person to buy a brownie pan, but you are gonna love it, and I'm gonna give you a free cookbook when you do. There's a very big difference between those two scenarios. Steps for making contacts. When you're making contacts, these steps will help you set a date. Start by sharing why you thought of your contact, and then the favorite four. Okay, you ready? Fun, friends, free, and finalize. Those are your four. Fun is you want to talk about the fun of the party. You can share the theme or recipe or what they'll love about it or the new products. You can say, oh my gosh, I have all these new recipes that I would just love to share with your friends who are all cooking at home. Friends, mention how much fun everyone will have together. Free, share how much free product most of your hosts can earn, or most of your hosts do earn. And then finalize, set that date. Don't just say, oh, let's do it in a few weeks, or oh, let's do it next month. Get them on your calendar. Know in your calendar what days that you have available to start your party, and have them out and ready. Suggest them to your potential hosts and get them on that calendar. So here's an example of what these steps could look like. And we will be giving you a copy of all this wording, so you don't have to try to jot it down. So you can just listen to the differences and listen to the examples, but we will be giving you the words to use. So here's an example of a first text. Hey, Sarah, it's Stacy. I'm not sure if you remember me, but we met at Mary's Pampered Chef party back in March. I'm so excited because there are some incredible things going on in Pampered Chef, and I thought of you because I know you love to eat healthy. Would you like to know more? So that's putting them first. And after a positive response, then you could say something like, I have been doing this great virtual party called New Year Better You, but it's not New Year. So we'll say Fall Frenzy, and all about healthy options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And people are just loving it. And here's a hint, everybody's going back to school. Everybody's going back to school at home. And so people are looking for new recipes that they can make quick while they're dealing with all their kids. So you can throw that in there too, healthy dinner, healthy and fast one-dish dinner options, or, something like that. One of the recipes I'm sharing is blank. I can't think of a recipe. And my hosts and guests are amazed at how easy it is. I also post daily games, raffles, raffle prizes, product info, and even some fun recipe inspiration. It's so much fun for you and your friends, and most of my hosts earn up to $150 or however much in free and discounted products. My next opening is on the 15th. What do you think? Okay, that ends with a question. That's really important, to end with a question that they have to answer, that they feel like they have to write back and say yes or no. Some more examples of word choices you can use when making your contacts. For new consultants, you could say something like, hey, Chris, how are you? Did you see my exciting announcement on Facebook? I made a big decision to start my own Pampered Chef business, and I was curious if you'd be up for letting me spoil you with amazing rewards as one of my very first hosts. Party lasts about 5 days and is super fun and convenient for everyone to pop in and out through their busy schedules. What do you think? Do you want to grab some friends this month and get spoiled with Pampered Chef? Or for someone you know, Hi there. I'm so excited to share. I've been invited to a leadership development program with Pampered Chef. Part of my training is to schedule 4 online parties a week. I thought of you because you love to cook at home. Online parties are super easy and fun, and they take only a few minutes and for a couple of days. I would love to spoil you with free and discounted products and share tips, recipes, and games with your friends. Would you be willing to try one? Or here's one more. Hey Beth, I was just thinking about you because I know you love to cook, or you love Pampered Chef would be another good one. Would you be interested in earning some free and discounted products by hosting an online party? It's all super easy and convenient, and I do most of the work. You just invite your friends to a group, and I post daily games, prizes, product info, and even some fun recipe inspiration. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in doing? I have a few dates still available. Does October 15th work for you? And as we talked about, as Jenna mentioned, don't be surprised by the no's, okay? Don't be surprised, they're going to happen. Just because we're talking about the positive responses here, those no's will happen. The no replies will happen, but they're not forever no's. It's important to remember, and we'll be talking more about that in future sessions. But just know that going in, because we're asking you to get a lot of bookings, that they are not necessarily forever no's. Always ask the questions, and there's a whole section on overcoming objections that your director or recruiter can share with you. And the other thing I want to say is it's not personal. If somebody says no, it's not personal. It could just be they are busy with their kids at home and overwhelmed with the thought of trying to shop for Christmas without having to go into a store. There could be all sorts of things going on in their lives, or they could have just forgotten to write back to you. That happens. Has anybody ever done that? Forgotten to write back to a message when they're driving and they like pick up their phone and so it shows up and you see it and then you forget to write back. That happens all the time with me. So don't take it personally. Just work on getting to your yes, because they're out there and they're going to, the more no's you go through will bring you closer to your yes. It is very important to track your contacts. You can use some fancy, online database or Excel spreadsheet, or you can just use a notebook. I have mine right here, my composition notebook. Learned from Miriam on this one. I have my composition notebook, and it has lots of contacts, lots of writing. Can you see it? Lots of writing in there. And I literally write out everybody that I've contacted. And when they book a party, oh, there's one. When they book a party, I highlight it so that I can see that, that I have made some progress. It not only lets you track those people, but it reminds you of how far you've come, of the work you've done. When I was really trying to go for a lot of bookings to meet that one goal for the Excellence Award, I kind of went back to my notebook. I hadn't done it very faithfully. And I was just working it, and it paid off. And because I knew that because I was working the system, even though I was getting a lot of no's, I even said to Tina, oh my gosh, I'm getting so many no's. And I was like, I know it's coming. I know if I just keep working it, it'll come. And sure enough, I wound up with, I think, 22 parties in June, which was crazy for me. So, it does work. The system really works. And again, it's all about the numbers. So use your notebook, figure out what is going to work for you, and track your progress every single day. Write down. What I do is I go through, I do 25, I actually probably do more, but I write down this one page holds 25 contacts. And I know that. So I start off numbering them. Sometimes I number them, but I know if I fill up the page, that's 25 right there. Let's see. So remember that not everyone will respond right away. There are words that you can use to follow up with those people that don't write back to you. Just because they didn't write back doesn't mean they're a no. You want to follow up with them 24 hours after the first message, and then with a second message 48 hours later. And then if they still don't write back, you can do a third message 72 hours after that initial one. Because people, it is okay to, let go of what you think, let go of it for a second. I give you permission to keep following up until you get a no. You are allowed to keep following up until they say no. And if they say no, you're like, okay, you know, if it's I would not like to have a party, then that's good. We don't want to be annoying, but we do, and there are some words that we'll share with you through this process that you can use to not be pushy, but say, oh my gosh, I just want to make sure I don't drop the ball. You know, or I say in my first message to people that haven't written back, I say, I know how I am about missing messages. I didn't want you to miss out on this amazing host special if you were interested and just got busy. So that's some language that I use. Another item that we do every week as an organization that will help you during this process is an opportunity event. So now we're moving from the bookings into talking to people about recruiting, because that's what this whole program is about. We make that easy for you, because if you have somebody who is interested in the business, every single Wednesday night, we host an opportunity event. And that's put on by Stephanie Kritcher. And it's just a Facebook group that you can add your consultants, or I'm sorry, your potential consultants to, and you can just invite people to learn more about the business in a very non-confrontational, non-pushy way. If you have a host or a rock star guest, or if you have a guest that comes and says, oh, I used to sell it years ago. Look at Jamie, right? How many of us used to sell it years ago and came back for virtual parties, right? And that's a big deal because they love the product. So you can invite them into this opportunity event every Wednesday night at 7 Central. Is that right? 8 Central? 8 Central. Now I'm getting all my, I think it's 8 o'clock Central. Okay. So we do that every week, and that's done for you guys so that you don't have to feel like you have to have all the answers. Add them and say, you know, oh, I see you're really, you know, you have a lot of questions, or you seem like this could be a possibility for you. Do you mind if I invite you, or do you mind if I add you to this group so that you can learn more about what we do? And that's it. So the Pampered Chef opportunity is one of the most important activities you'll focus on during this journey toward directorship. And so we're going to ask you to create a list of people. I'm not going to ask you to do it now, but maybe you can share that with your recruiter during your coaching call because we're short on time. I do want to encourage you to keep track of those leads in a special place, wherever that is. Myself, I keep track of them. This is the same notebook, okay, where I make my contacts, and I have my business leads on the back page. And anytime I have somebody who says, oh, I used to sell Pampered Chef, they go in my business leads. Anytime I have somebody who I've talked to about the business, that's where they're going, is on that back page of my book, of my contact book. So that's just one way to do it. There's so many ways you can. Please, when you're thinking about people who you could share the opportunity with, think about this. You want to think about people who need extra income, who need more fun in their life. And again, we will share these tips with you also, but you can jot some of these things that spark ideas, spark brainstorming, activities. So people that need extra income, need more fun in their life. If they have a situation that's similar to your own, where they have kids at home, or they just lost their job and maybe you did too, or they used to sell a lot of different direct marketing things and so did you. Somebody you would love to work with. That's really important. People that are past and upcoming hosts, people that were rock star guests at a party, and then your own just favorite people, your favorite groups, foodies. That's a big one for me. If I see people posting a bunch of pictures of food, they're getting a call from me because they obviously love to share about food. And also another one is people who have a strong following on social media and who love food. Two of the, like, if there's somebody who has a strong presence, they have a lot of followers, they have a lot of friends on Facebook, they're on Instagram a lot. Those are people you could reach out to and say, your skills would be perfect for this business. Have you ever thought about making a little extra money on the side? Some words that you can use when inviting guests to an opportunity event, especially for those who are considering joining, you can just say, "Hi, Marissa, I know that you've been considering joining Pampered Chef. I'm having what's called a Look and Learn event this coming Wednesday, and I would love to send you an invitation. It's all online, so you can join from any device, and there's no obligation to join. It's a great way to learn more about Pampered Chef and ask any questions you might have. Can I send you an invitation?" One thing, and London can attest to this, one thing that I sometimes tell people is we give away $10 toward their kit. And I say, hey, you know, would you like to join this group? You will be entered to win $10 toward your kit. And so if you wind up joining, that's an extra little perk. That's an extra little bonus. Then it takes it from $9 down to $0. I owe you $1. So let's see, or someone you know. Hi, Jennifer. I'm excited to share that I've been invited to a leadership development program with Pampered Chef. And I was asked to think about people who benefit from this business. And I thought of you right away because you just lost your job or because you love to cook at home. I was curious if you'd be up for learning more about earning extra money or adding a little fun to your life. And then when they say yes, you could say, I'd love to invite you to an event where you can learn about the opportunity. In the meantime, here's my website. Here's the Be a Consultant website. I'd love to have you join me. So we're going to start wrapping up. I'm sorry I went a little over. We're going to talk about the expectations on you for the next week. And this is your call to action. These are your action items. So the things that you should be doing this week are come to the weekly check-in call, prepared to talk about your parties, your bookings, and your recruit leads. Continue making your 30 contacts a day using that determination language, right? Not desperation language. And make sure you're tracking your results. Make sure you're tracking everybody you're talking to in some kind of notebook or spreadsheet or something. Invite people to the opportunity event. Remind consultants to post their personal vision board if they have not done it. Have we talked about that? Yeah, we hadn't talked about that. And let's see, we are also going to be giving you an additional training session to watch. And I think I know which one I'm going to be giving you guys. So that will be sent out. You know who I'm going to choose. Come on. Stephen Joseph is like the man when it comes to bookings. And I think you guys would really benefit from one of his, I'm thinking the Teach Me webinar that he had. But I'll look through and I'll assign you guys a training session. Please watch it because it really, really benefits you to hear somebody who is doing this thing, who is successful in this business, moving up to the highest rank in a very short amount of time, follow their lead, get ideas, get motivated and inspired. All of these trainings that we'll give you will do just that. So are there any questions? I know I ran through that last bit. I'm gonna need a drink after this. Any questions about the program, about some of the material that we've gone over? I know it was a lot. We will be giving you those words to use. We'll be providing that. And I know some of you will be using a messenger group to share that information. We also have an Evernote document or a notebook that has everything in it for the whole program. And we'll be sharing that with you as well as the recording from tonight in case you want to listen to it again. Any questions?
Great job, Heather.
Woo, my
Such
first
great information.
Thank you, Heather. That was awesome. And I think so everybody can write down their takeaway and share it on your Recipe for Success group too. That would be great. But yes, thank you everybody for joining. We always say, why not now? Why not you, right?
Yes, I would love to be introducing a bunch of new directors next time we do this. So let's get in there and get this thing done. You guys can all do it.
5 people. And I love that Barbara Duke, one of our national executive directors, she always says it's 41% increase in pay when you become a director. So
You know,
Congratulations, Jenna, you
said
just
that.
got a raise.
Sheila said that to me when I first became a director, and I didn't believe her. And oh my gosh, it's more than 41%. Within a couple months, it was like, I was like, okay, I'm a believer. I got it. So,
And you guys, this is the month to really do some recruiting because we've got some great offers that the company's giving us. So leverage these specials that they have provided for us because this is the month that a lot of you can promote. I've already recruited one today and I have another one recruiting next week.
Yay,
So
Miriam. Yeah,
just
you
get
make
out
it
there
cool.
and
Everybody keeps texting me because our special recruiting promotion is our 40-year anniversary.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter which kit you choose. You don't have to do anything. They just get $40 off a kit of their choice.
Yep.
And my consultants are texting me, really? They don't have to do anything? No, just sign up. They get $40 off whichever kit of their choice. The $99 kit, they would get it for $59 and then some. So across the board with the other two. But I mean, you guys really promote the 40-year anniversary. Today's only October 1. You've got 30 more days to do this. Who do you know that would love to join?
Yes.
Who's a Jamie out there that you are just going to surprise you? But you have to ask.
And
because like she said, I asked her a week ago or a month ago, and she said no. But that's okay. Just lots of people to invite and offer that $40 off kit to.
you guys, if they want that $59 kit and they have a party and get a kit credit of $50, they can start the business for $9.
Wow.
$9.
And they'll get the 100 PC dollars when they sell $12.50 in their first 30 days.
And they're getting $400 worth of products for $9.
Yeah. And also one thing that I heard on a training recently was talking, not only do we have this awesome kit, but we're also approaching the Christmas season, and how many people are getting part-time jobs, part-time retail jobs to supplement their income during the Christmas season. We can reach out and say, how many of you are, thinking about a part-time job for Christmas? Why not do Pampered Chef from your home, from your couch? We were talking about that today, saying, oh my gosh, you could, if you had $12.50 in sales, let's say in 1 week, because we're asking you to get 4 parties a week, especially our new consultants. If you did the $12.50, really you'd probably get more than that. That's $250 in 1 week. All of these perks that you get an extra $100 to spend in PC dollars. They'll get the ceramic egg cooker. They'll get the frying pan. They got their kit. I mean, and then that's only in 1 week. So really they can do a huge amount of, of money for Christmas in a very short amount of time, when they would have to be separated from their families and from their kids for many, 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 many more hours to get to that same amount. And this they can do with their kids sitting next to them, doing their distance learning, and not have to leave them, and not have to be gone all weekend, every night and weekend, fighting those Christmas crowds, which I guess will still happen, maybe.
Well, you guys, and think about it too. If you're a new consultant on this call tonight, know your 90-day date. I like to make sure my consultants know their 30 and 90-day date. If you go director in 90 days, you will get $500 in cash, and that is just a bonus. And then Heather shared how you can get up to $3,000 in cash, right? So it's just money. Warren Buffett's pocket or yours, which one?
Right,
I think it should go in your pocket.
And it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if you use this special and find 5 people this month and promote to director and get that $500 if you're still within your 90 days. How cool would that be? That would be pretty good to have that money for Christmas, just saying.
All right, new products, Christmas presents.
Great call, Heather.
That's
Great call,
awesome.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you,
All right,
Heather.
thank you so much, everyone. And we'll be sending out the recording too. So thank you.
Alrighty,
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much.